Guess one. So yeah.
Cool.
He's had fucking hell on with Ollie and everybody because of stupid fucking again, just little errors with audio and things that Ollie should be getting right that he just isn't. So yeah. Gary's in. Fucking Gary.
Question is he in the 992 or is he in the 991? He's in the 992.
He's in the 992. Hoi, hoi, Gary's come to play.
Oh, he asked me on Thursday.
Yeah.
Is the 992 that much better than the 991? I said, mate, it's a fucking dream compared to the 991. He's gonna win tonight now.
But snap, yeah.
Yeah. Fury's like, who do you think's gonna win tonight? And I was like, not you. What do you mean, not me? I was like, Gary's got this in the bag. If he turns up and he's in a decent car, you ain't beating him.
Yeah,
I said the amount of times I've tried to beat him at Snat and failed miserably. There's something about this track and him. He said he don't like it that much either, does he?
Yeah, he says he says he never feels like he goes well here or anything. But every time I see Gary race Snetterton, Gary is dominant.
Oh, he's pissed it.
In fact,
every time.
Move audio sport across there.
Fucking Dean is away with a shot.
Yep.
Dean and Dean together.
Gonna have to have it like that so we can see everybody's names. Right, so that's 19. So who's the 20th? It is just that Matthew. Right.
Oh, that's gonna sting.
Copy you.
Oh, that's gonna bleed. Yep.
You picking scabs?
Bleeding. Nah, picking my toenails.
Oh, lovely. You got one just down the side of the toe.
Bit too far. Oh, fuck. Ow. That already stings. I haven't even put any pressure on it. Fuck.
How's your mum nowadays? She alright?
Yeah, she's alright. We've still got to have a few more operations, you know, just to tidy everything up and deal with her hernia and stuff like that. You know. Why the fuck do they put multiple fucking price tags on shit? They're trying to catch me out, the motherfucks. Right, 2 championships to win this week.
2? Oh, touring cars.
Yeah.
Is it the finale of touring cars?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've won it. Well done on winning. Well done on winning 2 Pro-Am championships. You must be really proud. I'm not being funny, but Bar Donington Park, where you've had a nightmare, you have just had a cracking season on that touring car stuff. Like, you've just been...
Just know how to race touring cars, mate.
It's just quality. It doesn't even look hard for you at times.
It is. It is.
Brands looked the hardest race for you.
That's the one I was the overall winner. That's where I won the most points.
Did you not win the most points the week after? At Croft. Was it when you took 2 wins?
No, I wasn't the most. Yeah, no, I took 2 wins, but I wasn't the one who... No, I didn't take 2 wins.
What did you think, by the way, to Hypertech's suggestion?
I haven't seen it.
Fair play points.
No. He does this every year.
If you let a driver back through, you get an extra point for fair play. I sat in a party.
How?
I sat talking to Pierre. Yeah, exactly. I sat talking to Penguin. I'd rather go back to my idea last year of the commentators give a driver of the day point out to a certain driver than a fucking point for fucking fair play. Oh, Matt let through 6 drivers, even though he only punted 3 off, so that means he gains an extra 6 points. Fuck off. Like, come off here.
Classic DTM, I don't get this, but okay.
So the DTM car's on Assetto Corsa.
Assetto Corsa.
Yeah.
Right.
Or on Project Cars too. GT2 cars coming in January as well.
Mm-hmm.
And based on that list I saw, there's a Brabham. What did I see? And a Maserati and a KTM.
Yeah.
Mmm. Much Nuts messaged me asking if we could do, is it the BMW M2 touring car on here?
Yeah.
He said, do we, like, as you know, as you're doing GT4s, he says, like, why don't you do, like, a touring car Tuesday, but use that BMW? I was like, oh, yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Right. Let's go live for free practice finishing. So 5, 4. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport here for the penultimate race of the season at Snetterton. We're in England once again, and we are in Norfolk, the home of Gary 131 and PN Motorsport and all the drivers around the Norwich area. We're here for Snetterton. It is week 4, round 4 of the championship, penultimate race of the season, and Fury can wrap up the championship tonight, or will PN DJ Fellow or others try and stop him and take him to the next weeks or so? I'm joined in the commentary box by my partner in crime, Dan Davis. Dan, good evening. Welcome to the box. Welcome back to Snetterton. It's been a while since we've been around this track.
It has indeed. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Simplay Motorsport. And yeah, definitely been a while since we've been back here at Snetterton, a circuit that definitely requires patience and probably the worst British circuit there is. But
Yes.
yeah. Definitely an interesting night's worth of racing ahead of us. The PS5 League once again brings us all the action, and we're about to get underway for another hours-long race to see who will come out on top. But there's definitely one man I'll be keeping my eye on. Yes, Fury may be able to wrap the title, but there will be one man definitely in an upgraded version of his car will be one to keep an eye on. He's been so successful around this circuit, and I'm pretty sure he'll be successful once again. But yeah, it's going to be a fun night worth of racing, and like I said, this corner, all these corners have iconic names, iconic champions to their names as well, and I'm so looking forward to this one, Matthew.
Yeah, really looking forward to this one. And would that driver by any chance be a Gary 131?
It is a Gary 131.
It is a Gary 131. I thought that.
Still to this day, I've never beaten him around this track, and it really irritates me.
And the best thing about this is I was looking at the most successful driver around this circuit. Gary's never done anything here at Simplay Motorsport on this track. So it has all been other leagues or other categories that we've not counted the statistics for, where Gary has been unbeatable. You remember back to the Motive Racing days, Gary was untouchable there in a touring car and in a Clio. I remember back to the THR days, he was untouchable in a Clio and a touring car and any other car around this track. But at Simplay Motorsport, Gary's never actually got a pole position or a win here. So big opportunity for Gary tonight.
I do think as well, we've never really ran it enough here at Simplay Motorsport. We've only ran it a handful of times, and it's probably
I believe
just
we've
like
ran
small
it down
events.
3 times. Pro-Am, when the only G took 2 race wins, and Andy took 2 pole positions. Am, where Dean and NJ took a win, Aidan and NJ took a pole position. And then I'm going to say that Hitman and Fury are winning a pole would have been the Porsche Cup we did last season.
Yes.
So we've only actually ran it.
Gary only turned up for one round.
Yeah, which was that night. And I do believe, so we've only really ran Snetterton twice. Or 3 times. Once in Pro, once in Pro-Am, and then once in the Porsche Cup.
Yeah. But either way, we'll see how Gary gets on. But not just Gary here tonight in his Porsche 992. We've got a couple of new drivers here as well, racing with us this evening. And Matt's obviously going to read them out to me. But I do know for a fact that Jackal is one of them. I introduced him to the Simplay Motorsport family, and he's driving in the Ferrari. There is a lot of Ferraris, and they're slowly building up. I'm still surprised there's no Lamborghini Evo 2s
Evo 2, yeah. Very surprised.
Evo 2 and the Audi Evo 2 as well. Both Audis and Lamborghinis. The Audi obviously very much the dominant car in the Pro PS4 league at the minute, because obviously majority of the grid has been an Audi that has been at the top. Ripper is leading the way in his Audi, and I've become champion in mine. So
with Daz second place in Pro-Am in an Audi as well, and
exactly, yeah.
So yeah,
I also know that Jackal is from the United States.
Yeah.
And yeah, it should be a fun night worth of racing.
It is. He's in a lovely, say lovely, he's in a Red Bull livery. So make of that one what you will. But Jekyll is here. Yeah, exactly. Make of that one what you will. And it also says Verstappen.com Racing on the side.
Let's go to Dean Wasocki, where he's running a McDonald's car.
Yeah, I'd much rather look at the McDonald's. I'd much rather look at the McDonald's car. We also have Mod Dark Legend in the BMW M4, new driver for this week and for the rest of the season. Mod joins us on the grid. I believe another American driver to join us here today. So it's great to see some of the American drivers jumping from across the pond here to Simplane Motorsport. As we move up the list as well, we have Bombril in his... Oh, he's in the other Ferrari, the Emil Frey Ferrari livery. That one doesn't say Red Bull or Max Verstappen on it, but it is the teammate livery to the one that Jekyll is in. So he's in the Ferrari 296 as well as Jekyll. So it's great to see Bombril here. Another Ferrari 296 on the grid, as Dan says. We then got Flem Speed 1. He is in the Porsche 992 in a lovely purple livery there. The purple chrome, beautiful to see that one. He's in the Porsche 992. What will he be able to do as he comes in today? And then we got Ben Crane, as the cameraman should pan around to see him momentarily. There he is in as well, another purple liveried BMW Porsche 992. So great to see 5 new drivers on the track, and just really adding to some fantastic drivers already out there on this circuit, Dan.
Yeah, it's fantastic, the lineup of drivers. Nice to see the US drivers coming over. Obviously, our leading US driver is Tibbs, who, may I say, had a fantastic night's worth of racing.
Oh yeah,
at Nürburgring.
how was his results?
I believe he got a second in race 2, and he got a P4 in race 1 in the sprint. So
Very
carrying
nice.
on from where he was in the GT4s, he then carried that pace on in the GT3. So a fantastic drive from him. Ripper obviously taking a double win once again and extending that gap to overtake as they go to the final week of racing at Misano. And make sure you do tune in, because although the Pro-Am is wrapped up and done, there is still some exciting championships still yet to finish with. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting week's worth of racing at Misano.
There is 10 drivers confirmed for AM, and AM has got 4 drivers up for the championship finale, so there is a chance that we may even stream the AM finale as well.
We've got another driver
for the final race this season. And another new driver who is in, suffering with internet problems, so he hopes he will stay in. But THG Gertchen has joined us as well. Apologies if I've got your name wrong, but yeah, he's in. He said he's been suffering with internet problems, but he is in at the moment. So we have got 20 drivers on the grid. Fantastic to see such a busy grid. It is what is quite a tight circuit and hard to overtake. It's currently the Mutsnuts, who is provisionally P1 from PM Motorsport, with Dean in 3rd place. Bombril is currently 4th, just ahead of Dean Wasocki. Ben Crane 6th, with Alpha Co CB down in 8th place. As who's just gone onto the podiums, the Jackal just goes into P2 as Corsa 77's coming to line, but Dean Wasocki's the next one down to end a flying lap. Snetterton, though, we know it's a tricky circuit. Like I say, it's probably one of Britain's least favoured tracks, especially in my opinion, your opinion as well. But it's a tricky circuit, especially that final sector.
If I'm honest, I actually prefer Snetterton to Orton Park. I can't stand Orton Park. But it is a very tricky circuit. I do miss the old days when it was just as simplistic as it could possibly get, with just a handful of corners and long straights. That was an interesting race, especially when you had little Renault Clios, especially in little championships we used to do on Project Cars 2. It was fantastic racing. Actually, the corner for me that really I struggle with is you go up towards turn 1, turn 2, and at turn 3, the kind of off-camber, the Palmer is really difficult to get right, because you think you can carry more speed into it, and then it tightens on the exit, and then obviously it's become more tricky. But obviously the Bentley Straight, and then heading down to, I believe, is it Murray's?
No, Brundle and Nelson.
Brundle and Nelson, that's the iconic 2 corners. Brundle and Nelson, do not touch the curbs, because they if you want to see a GT3 car fly, that's where you're going to see one fly for sure. I believe Sutty Apex managed to roll a Ginetta there, or was that at Silverstone?
No, that was at Silverstone. That was Silverstone, yeah, where we're at next week as PM Motorsport climbs up the leaderboard, as does a few of the drivers. I'm now looking for car 14. I cannot find car 14. It is Fant, it's Bombril who's about to settle that time. Then it is DJ Phil, the only Lamborghini out there at the moment. Bombril moves up into P3. What will DJ Phil do before car 70 will be taken to line? DJ Phil goes P5. The Jackal comes to the line now. Any improvement for him? He improves, he goes back to P3. Next car on the lap is Dean Wasocki. But yeah, you're right. The bomb hole as well, it kind of dips underneath you after Nelson. Then you want to kind of be on the power and off the power. It's tricky to get through Coram. And you hide kind of one of the corners here. You come out of Coram, you're kind of still turning Coram, as you then need to brake and turn left for Murray. So very tricky to sort of get that one right, as Dean Wasocki moves up into P5.
Yeah, but the man setting the pace, your championship leader, as we all expected, is Fury. He is leading the way. Gary 131 still let to set a lap time. I am keeping an eye on Gary, but it should be a close fight. The Nut seems like he's got pace, but he seems like he's just trying to get his posture all set up. And that's one of the things I've noticed the most here, Matt, is that there seems to be two particular models and cars as the Cranky Duckhead goes second fastest. Yeah. There's two particular models that seem to be very, very popular, and that is the new Porsche 992 and also the Ferrari, I don't even know the name of it. The 296. I really need to learn that. The 296. I'm so used to the 488. Which is, I still think, a better looking car. It's Gary now goes in half a second of Gary.
There we go.
I did the Fury. I did say.
Yeah, there we go. So Gary now within that half a second mark. That is Alpha Co, CB and Ben Crane coming out the final corner. Fury, by the way, if he takes pole position tonight, it will be his 25th pole position. In the pits comes Ben Crane. Alpha Co crosses line. He is now done. Next car is car 53. That is DJ Phil Green. Daz Automatic and Smokey Devil, by the way, had a qualifying ban. Tech Leader and Hypertech have not set a lap time in. DJ Phil has just ran very wide and invalidated his lap. Car number 70 of the Jackal coming down the start straight now to set his final flying lap here at Simplay Motorsport. Goes P3 on his first outing. Mod Dark Legend yet to set a lap time, or valid lap time should I say, comes through the final corner of Murray's. Down the start straight now he comes. What is he going to be? He's not yet set a lap time. P19 so far. I think Dean's just invalidated his lap time behind. Mod goes P4. Good lap from him at the very end. Fury on that final flying lap. Gary's still out there doing one. So Fury really needs to nail this lap if Gary's on a better one. Here comes Joe then out the final corner. Birthday boy today, Dancer. Happy birthday to Fury. Turns 19 years young. Oh, what I'd give to be 19 years young, and does improve. Finds an extra half a second to go quicker than Gary 131 by 1 second.
Improving.
But it is Gary's not. There we go then.
I'm on board with him at the minute, and obviously can go on drive and see his lap times. And at the minute, he's currently 3/10 down. Unless he lost it all in the final sector, he is not improving. He's in the final sector now. I'll keep an eye on the 21 of Flem Speed 1, but Gary at the minute is not improving, and it looks like he has found more time in the final corner. Good exit, and it's going to be an improvement. And no, he's lost it all on the exit, and it's going to match his best lap time. So Gary does not improve.
Gary does not improve, and it's all down to Flem Speed 1. Can he take Fury's pole position away from him? Here comes Flem Speed, goes across the line, and only puts it P3. So Fury takes his 25th pole position here at Simplay Motorsport, and that is actually his first pole position in the PS5 category, Dan, which is quite remarkable.
It is remarkable. That BMW is very good in the race. Let's see how it gets on with this short practice. Well, I say practice, short formation. The short formation and short preparation. These guys got to turn their cars around as quickly as they possibly can and get themselves ready up. But it is Fury and Gary, the two iconic and veterans of Simplay Motorsport, leading the way with two newbies right behind them, or three newbies.
Yeah,
right
indeed.
Them, as the newbies drivers didn't ready up.
The newbies having a good day. Alpha Co and THD missed the start of the race then. So while these guys get to the front of the grid, let's just quickly run you through the championship standings. Fury leads the way by 38 points from PN Motorsport, who is then ahead of DJ Phil by 6. Dean is in P4 with Cranky Duckhead 5th, Hypertech P6. Alpha Co CB is 7th with Monkey Boy in 8th. Smoky Devil 9th, Mutz Nuts 10th, Daz Automatics 11th with Sven in 12th. Porto is 13th, Tech Leader 14th, Gary 15th, Wolfenator 16th, Dean Wasocki 17th, and Ian McKizzle 18th. Everybody else yet to score a point who are signed up. So THD and Alpha Co, luckily enough, they're not going to go a lap down due to it being the short formation lap. But for Fury, it's another pole position. For the BMW, it is once again, that's first pole position now of this Aeris. That is now 5 pole positions away from 50. Dan, tip for the race win?
Gary.
Well, it's green and go here, and Dan's tipping Gary. Gary's going to look to the outside of Fury already as they head towards turn 1. Fury's going to have the inside line, famously where Gordon Shedden ended up in a cornfield on the exit. Gary right around the outside, he's still hanging it in there. The 992 clearly a bit better than the 991 of last week. Gary tucks back in behind Fury now, looks to tuck underneath as they come on the exit, and Gary's doing just that. Looks like he's got a bit of a better exit than Fury, but Fury will have that inside line for Palmer's as they come down the first time. Gary's sweeping around the outside as it took him too wide. No, it hasn't. Stays side by side on exit. This is absolutely fantastic racing. Flem Speed 1's watching on in the background as they come now to Agostini. Hard on the brakes. Gary's still around the outside of Fury. Can he hang it in there now? Little twitch on the exit, and that puts that one to bed. But for 4 corners, Dan, Gary and Fury side by side. It was a cracking end to Donington, and it's a cracking start to Snetterton.
Monkey Boy's been caught up in a little incident with Bombril there, a drop to the back of the pack, but other than that, it's been relatively clean and fair as the 2 guys who started from the pit lane have got themselves going. Other than that, it's been pretty good. There's a BMW stuck. I'm not sure who that is. Spooky Devil's gone through. I'm not sure which BMW that is. I believe it is Mod Dark Legend, and yeah, they got stuck on the curb by the list of things as DJ Dean Wasoki's going side by side with the Mutts Nuts as they head towards the fast swooping left-hander into the monstrous curb, and Dean gets the job done around the outside. So fantastic move there from Dean Wasoki.
Dean Wasoki's climbed up to 5th place. Good start from him. So at the end of lap 1, Fury just starts to pull a gap over Gary, but we know that BMW has a little period where it just starts to drop off before coming back to the drivers. Fury then, out the final corner of Murray's, leads from Gary. Flem Speed 1 is 3rd. The Jackal 4th on his debut. Dean Wasoki's P5 with the Mutts Nuts in 6th. Cranky Duckhead's up to 7th. DJ Phil's in 8th with Smoky Devil 9th. PN down in 10th. Dean is 11th ahead of Hypertech, but them two going side by side here, wheel to wheel, as it's Dean on the inside line. The same coloured cars, just the opposite way around. Hypertech's going to go around the outside. Daz and Tech Leader are watching on from the background here as well. Dean has to yield the place to Hypertech. Daz goes around the outside as well, and Tech Leader, unfortunately, was on the same side of the track as Dean. Couldn't make any more progression.
Daz around the outside, a brave move into McLaren, considering he was trying to pass 2 Ferraris, and he got the job done on one of them. Now he needs to get ahead of the other one now of Hypertech, and Hypertech really holding his own round here at the minute against the Porsches, the Ferraris. But right now, Fury is extending his gap to Gary. If anything, Gary's under pressure from Flem Speed 1 at the minute. Well, the Jackal mining his overs. Dean Wasoki's gone off. He's run wide, and that's allowed the Mutts Nuts through.
What a shame. So Dean off, Mutts Nuts has gone through, and Dean has got to do it all again. In fact, I think the Cranky Duckhead has also got through, so I wonder if the Mutts Nuts passed him before the sec time. Yes, Cranky Duckhead has got through. Now Smokey and DJ Phil having a little battle on the back of Dean Wasoki as they come through. From Speed 1, fastest man on the circuit at the moment. Dan as well, so really pushing as Dean gets a little sideways, coming onto the Bentley straight then, out of Williams and getting it all out of shape, but I think Smokey went a little wide onto the gravel.
Gary.
Oh, at Brundle and Nelson, that's a bold move there, and it looks like he's going to get it done.
He went around the outside of Brundle and then had the inside for Nelson and bounced over the curb, and Gary had to yield, but Gary's, with the braveness around the outside, holds the position, and away he goes. And while these guys are all too busy fighting with one another, Fury is just extending the gap.
Yeah. He is indeed. Smoky Devil trying to put Dean back under pressure. He's got DJ Phil and PM Motorsport there for company. Daz Automatic was trying to get past Hypertech. I believe he has. Oh, because Hypertech has got some real big damage to the back of his car. We are down to 20 drivers. I believe we may have lost a driver. Not sure who that is. But yeah, what a shame for somebody already to have left the lobby. But Hypertech, big damage to his car. So I do believe Daz is through. He is, yes. Dean has also been caught up in an incident because Tech Leader's got past him. Mod is P14, Ben Crane 15th, Monkey Boys up 16th, Hypertech down in 17th, Bombril, THG and Alpha Co CB. Did we have 20 or 21?
20.
Ah, 20. So no, we haven't lost a driver. No, we've not lost a driver.
Fury's lost time. Fury's lost time to Gary.
Yeah. Or is Gary gained time because he's gapped?
No.
Fury has Fury's lost time.
The Fury's now has got a second to him as there's so many fights going on. I'm not used to commentating on 20 cars.
No, we're not. Yeah, exactly. This is brilliant to watch. It's great to see. Good evening, though, in the chat to Jay, PM, Benedict Varga, Fury's granddad, and Les Fernie in there. So Smoky Devil really putting Dean Wasoki under some pressure as they come in towards Hamilton. And Dean's gone off. Dean's wide. He's off. He's been overtaken by DJ Phil and PM Motorsport. And now he sits and waits for an opening. He's now just... is he going to sit and just let the whole pack through? Dean, there's a gap there. No, still sits and waits. Still sits and waits. Now gets going now, but has lost a lot of places.
He's at my local McDonald's and just waiting to get his delivery at the drive-thru.
Yeah, he just
Fury's having a really... no. Uber Eats don't deliver to me. I'm in the middle of nowhere. But we don't have that in Cornwall. We're not allowed to have Uber Eats. We're like several centuries behind. We are. I'm amazed I'm allowed a PS5.
But you're right, Fury's coming under some immense pressure from Gary. Fury, fastest man on track from Gary from Flem Speed 1. Top 4 in a real good scrap here. 2.5 seconds pretty much separate the top 4. Bit of a drop back down to the Mutt's nuts. Looks like he's got a bit of bodywork damage on that left-hand side of his car. As we drop down to PM still on the back of DJ Phil. There's a lot of battles happening here. Dean on the back of Mod Dog Legend. That's pretty close. Then we look at Bomb Grill trying to gain on the back of THG, who's on the back of Hypertech. Them lot all have damage. Pit window will be opening around the 40-minute mark. But look at the top 3, Dan. It is Fury from Gary from Flem Speed 1, all pretty much within a second of each other.
Yeah, Gary, I think he tends to not have a lot of time to practice, so he has to spend a bit of time trying to dial out the car and try and find out where the weaknesses and advantages are, and it takes him a couple of laps. Fury's had a bit of time in here, and he's gone wide, Fury, and Gary's going to look down the inside. He's alongside the BMW. Is he going to try and send it into Hamilton's, I believe?
Yeah, he'll have the inside for Hamilton. And
Fury's gone wide.
Oh, that is very close. Where is he now as they coming towards Oggies? Fury's got the inside for Oggies, and we'll have that inside line for Williams as well. So Fury trying to do absolute bits. Gary's going to hang it around the outside of Williams, and he gets it done around the outside of Williams. Gary 131 knows his place on the back of his hand, runs a little wide, side by side, coming down the Bentley straight. Gary can't tuck in because Flem Speed 1's now there. This is a fantastic three-way fight at the front of this pack. In towards Brundle and Nelson. Who's going to yield? Flem Speed 1 right around the outside of Brundle, up the inside for Nelson. Thank you, mama, for the carrots, Gary 131.
Wow, now is Gary going to be smart and let the Porsche driver now have a go? He's had a twitch going through the bomb hole, but he's trying to find a way through as best he possibly can. But that's given Fury some breathing space, but he was under some immense pressure. Sadly, the Jackal wasn't able to get involved and try and stick his nose involved. As Fury's done a bad exit.
Yeah, Fury has a terrible exit out of Murray's. Now Flem Speed 1's going to go down the outside towards Richie's they come. Is he going to get this move done before Richie Toe? That's the biggest question. Flem Speed 1 versus Fury. Fury's on that inside line. Gary's watching him behind. Flem Speed around the outside of Fury and Richie's. They're then going to have that inside line as they come to the hairpin of Wilton. Gary's looking to make it 3 wide. Round the outside of the hairpin goes then Flem Speed 1. Gary took something underneath both of them. Makes a little bit of contact with Fury. And Gary, what an opportunistic move. Gets past Flem Speed 1, keeping the pressure on Fury. What a great start to Stetterton this is. Donington ended in this way between Gary and Fury, and he's coming back for round 2.
How is Fury managing to keep these cars behind him? The two Porsches really hustling him. Gary's gone deep, and Fury gets the undercut and swoops back under, and he has another poor exit, and he's gone off!
Whoa, Fury's off. Was that contact with Gary? I'm not sure. Grass tracking all over. Gary's not overtaken Fury.
Gary.
Oh dear, Jackal round, Gary off. The Mutt's Nuts capitalises and moves up to P3. Oh, Fury went off as well at Oggies there. Wow, what an incredible start to this race. This is incredible stuff here we're seeing.
Is this the new boy? One of the new boys?
Yeah, Flem Speed 1, new boy. Yeah. Leading on debut.
Wow. Leading on debut. How do you expect that? Fury's made a mistake. Obviously, he'll try and come back as best he can. But for Gary, I think caught up in a little bit of Arjun, a little bit of shoving and pushing, and yeah, he's ended up dropped behind the Mutt's Nuts. It is literally the Porsches trying to pounce on the BMW, and the Jackal just must have missed his brakes or something. He's got seems to internet problems, but he's now got DJ Phil in the old Lamborghini, and then a whole
DJ Phil,
of Simply veterans behind.
Tech leader, PN Motorsport, all gaining behind, and for the Jackalies, excuse me, got a little bit of front end damage on that car as well. Dean is in the pits, so I'm not sure what's happened to Dean. He's leaving the pits now. That is not Dean Wisocki. The problem for Dean is, look, blue flags are waving for him. Down to THG. He was battling with Dean Wisocki. He's still on the back of Dean Wisocki. We've also got Tech Leaders fight with Daz and with DJ Phil and with everybody else. But yeah, the newbie Flem Speed 1 leads from Fury, but Fury's coming back at him.
Considering THG started from pit lane, he's 16th.
Yeah, running well.
Running, yeah, decent at the minute, but it's going to take him some time to catch on to the others. As DJ Phil's has had a moment, and that's allowed Daz Automatic through, as they're all being held up by the Jackal at the minute, who's probably got some understeer issues due to the damage to the front of his Ferrari. But DJ Phil has just been passed by Daz Automatic, and now I think Tech Leader wants their way through down the inside. of the next left-hander, but DJ Phil tries to cover him, but gets away with that one.
Chop the nose off DJ Phil there. Wow, he went so deep at the hairpin, and Agostini there manages to stay in front of Tech Leader. Just back down to THG as he's in a fight with Dean Wisocki. He's really gaining on the back of Dean Wisocki. Monkey Boy's there as well. Dean goes wide a little bit coming out of Agostini. Now THG's right on the back of him. He's going to pull to that inside line as they come to Hamilton's. Dean's been able to secure that one. Dean won a brilliant race here, by the way, in Season 2 of Project Corsa 2 in the wet on the pad. Back then he won a brilliant race here. I remember myself, you and Andy was in the commentary box for that one. He came from nowhere to win it from NJ and Alfie, but yeah, what a start to his race. Fiori's back within 4/10 of the race leader.
He's hustling him.
Oh, Phil's off. DJ
really
Phil's off.
Him.
Apologies, Dan. DJ Phil is off and he's struggling to rejoin and stays off the track as PN goes through. What about Mod? No, I believe DJ Phil. No, he's still off. So, yep, everybody gets past Phil as he's off now.
Fury's
Ben Crane's
Fury's right up the rear wing of Flem Speed 1 as they head up towards turn 1. And Fury looking for any opening, any opportunity as they head up towards turn 2. Probably the best overtaking opportunity into the hairpin. But he's a bit scared to get on the brakes behind Flem Speed 1. He runs a little bit right, tries to get the better traction, but Flem Speed 1 in that Porsche seems to keep him under control. Gary seems to be struggling at this stage now.
Wonder if he's got a bit of rear end damage. Dean Wisocki went so deep at Nelson. He lost out to THG, Monkey Boy and Bombrill. So he's dropped all the way down to 17th place, and Dean losing out massively. Mod Dark Legend now gaining on the back of PN Motorsport, who's gone very deep at Wilson. Across the grass is PN Car rejoin. Yep, Mod gets through. So the new drivers making their way through the pack a little bit here.
Yeah, definitely. So slowly trying to figure out their rivals and drivers here tonight, and trying to figure out. Flem Speed 1's gone very wide. That's opening the door for Fury to possibly send it up into Williams as they head down towards the Bentley straight. But Fury there had a sniff opportunity, and the Porsche seems to be struggling, and with no support from the Mutts, Nuts or Gary at the minute, he's going to have to try and survive all on his own from a champion here at Simplay Motorsport.
Well, Gary's coming under pressure from Smokey Devil, Dan, so it's Porsche. It's BMW. BMW's attacking both Porsches here. Fury's going to go around the outside of Nelson. It's very tight to get that one done. Does he stick it then there? He does. Keeps his car. He's going to be on the outside for the Bommo. Who's going to get this done? Fury still keeping it side by side. Looks like Fury's got a little damage on the rear of his car. Nearly makes contact with Flem Speed 1 as they come through Coram. Fury has a bit of a twitch there, and Flem Speed 1 keeps hold of the lead. What about Smokey? Smokey's done Gary. So Smokey gets past Gary 131.
I think Gary's waiting for that pit window to open, possibly to edit and change tyre pressures as he's been going along. I think maybe the tyre pressures have maybe ballooned, or they haven't got enough grip or whatever. Smokey's gone wide in the final corner and done all that hard work to get past Gary, and Gary goes, well, all right, lad, I'll go back past.
Indeed he will. The Jackal's doing really well here. He's actually gapped Daz Automatic and he's trying to close that gap to the Cranky Duckhead. 1.1 was the gap. It's now, 1.8 was the gap. It's now 1.6. He's also pulled a bit of time over Daz Automatic. Here comes Fury, then out of Wilson. He's going to have the outside line for Palmer's. Tricky, like Dan says, to get it done at Palmer's, and that's allowed Flem Speed 1 to just keep hold of his line and get the traction out the corner. Mutsnut's not gaining while these two are battling now.
No, I think Mutsnuts is also, he's carrying damage. He's been in the wars at the start of this race, so he's really been struggling. And the Mutsnuts has had race pace by the looks of things. He had the pace for practice. So right now, he's just, I don't think that these two are really fighting hard enough at the minute to really gain anything out of it. Smokey Devil once again is looking to make a move on Gary 131 as they head up towards Hamilton, and it's not quite close enough as Daz Automatic also on the back of Tech Leader. He runs wide though, does Daz Automatic, and that poor exit is going to affect him through the rest of the middle sector.
It is indeed. Just watching Tech Leader, who's got past Daz Automatic then, so that's job done there for him. Mod Dot Legend trying to close them down. They're also trying to close down on the Jackal, who's lost a bit of time to the Cranky Duckhead, but Fury sticking to the back of Flem Speed 1 seems to really get the most out of this BMW M4, like he has been doing in the M4, but the GT4 version. He's really getting the most out of this BMW M4 here. Through then the bomb hole and Coram, he comes once again, pretty much pushing Flem Speed 1 through. Probably couldn't believe he'd be leading the race here on his debut night. Runs a little wide. Fury has a twitch on exit, and both on him pretty much away level pegging. Fury though pretty much pushing now. The slipstream comes into play. Fury's coming down the straight. He's going to go to the outside of Richie's corner. This is fantastic to see. Loving this, says Jay, and great scrap for places, says Les Fernie. Indeed it is, round the outside of Richie's. Just a little moment for Fury. Oh, a bit more of a moment on the curb. Manager's hold it together, but it puts the move to bed.
And Gary still struggling to keep Smokey Devil behind him.
Look at the rest of them. Look at the rest catching, Dan. Cranky Duckhead's now here.
Yeah, well, Gary and Smokey actually went into the final corner, and I think maybe a little bit of contact. There's a little bit of dust picked up while we were watching Fury and Flem Speed 1, but Gary really struggling to keep Smokey behind him. But yeah, Cranky Duckhead has now got the Jackal really hustling him, while Tech Leader's not a million miles away, as also Daz Automatic has lost a place to Dark Mod Legend, as PN Motorsport gets onto the back of him as well.
He does indeed. Smokey looking up the inside, can't do anything about it there. So Daz dropping down behind Dark Mod.
Flem Speed 1's gone very wide. He's gone very, very wide. No, not quite, not quite. Fury had an opportunity, and he just couldn't quite get the BMW to hook up. Flem Speed 1 was given a lifeline there. Oh, he just managed to hang on to that with the skin of his teeth there.
So now we've got Smokey Devil pushing Gary 131 through the track. We've got the Cranky Duckhead being pushed through. Oh, Smokey big twitch through Williams onto the Bentley straight.
Fury's
drifts through there. What? Fury's passed. Oh, he's wide. Flem Speed's off. He's off. At Nelson, Fury re-leads this race. The pressure from Fury to Flem Speed 1 put him wide. At Nelson, Smokey Devil is really trying to put Gary under pressure. He's got the Cranky Duckhead and the Jekyll with front end damage. The Jekyll is really trying to get the job done on the Cranky Duckhead here. Has Smokey gone through? Yes, he has. Apologies.
He has gone through. Gary's just waiting for that pit window. You can see on the back of Gary's car, you can see the rear end damage. The whole back end of that Porsche is crooked at the minute.
If I remember rightly, the Jekyll hit the back of Gary 131, and that's why the Jekyll's got such front end damage.
Yeah, and I think as well, it all stemmed from Fury being a little bit loose in the middle sector, and then all
Cranky
sorts of chaos.
Then up the inside at Richie's, he's got the job done on Gary, and that, well, oh, who's that? That's the Jekyll, well off at Richie's on the exit. Tail leader's too far behind. But Gary now, he's gone behind Smokey, he's behind the Cranky Duckhead here. He needs that pit window to open to repair this damage.
Yeah, he's walking wounded right now, but as soon as Gary gets that opportunity to get into the pits, he'll be in, repair that damage, and then watch him come flying through the order. I think with a fresh car and no traffic, I think Gary will be one to keep an eye on later on. But right now, Fury has now got a healthy lead of 2.5 seconds to the Flame Speed 1, as the Mutts Nuts is not really done anything since these two have been scrapping, really. No,
that gap's still 5 seconds or so to Fury, as here comes THG Gurchin then, up the inside towards Agostini's on Ben Crane, and he's got that move done. Good move from THG from the pit lane. He's now up into 13th place, and he's only 3.9 off the back of DJ Phil, so he's going well at the minute, is THG.
Oh, DJ Phil had a big moment through through Hamilton's there, nearly dropped the rear end. That old Lamborghini is probably giving him a hard time.
He's brought the gap down to Fury's Flem Speed. It was over 2 seconds a minute ago. It's now 1.9.
I think Fury excels with a car in front of him, so he can kind of follow the lines. Yeah. And Flem Speed 1 has gone wide in the final corner. As soon as he leads, I think he struggles to then really find that ultimate pace again. As soon as the car gets back in front of him, he's got something to chase, something to find. You know, but if he leads, then he hasn't got anything to chase. I don't think that raw pace then kicks in.
Well, gap's back up to 3.6. That could be due to a mistake. Gary still within 9/10 then of the Cranky Duckhead, but he's got the Jekyll and Tech Leader right on the back of him. Tech Leader, who's had such a good season in Pro this year, he's had a couple of good results to his name. He's now looking for another one here on the PS5 version. He's not in his Ferrari anymore. He's in the Mercedes AMG 2020 version. Oh, and has he been hit? Somebody's just hit the Mutts Nuts.
No one's hit the Mutts Nuts. You mean the Jackal?
No, his front end. Tech Leader's front end is now lifted.
Yeah, the Jackal's got a bit of internet issues, so maybe as he's gone off, so Gary had to check up because he had a moment. The Jackal then had to check up. Yeah. And then next thing you know, Tech Leader came flying around the corner.
Tech Leader's clipped the back of the Jackal. Yeah, so he's hit the Jackal. Gary then has got through. Jekyll's dropped down a couple more places. He's down behind PN Motorsport now. So PN now makes his way into the top 10. But Daz has just gone off as he's trying to look down after Mod. So Fury leads from Flem Speed 1. The Mutts Nuts is third, with Smokey Devil quietly going about fourth. Cranky Duckhead fifth. Gary sixth. Tech Leader seventh. Mod Dog Legend is P8 with Daz on the back of him for ninth. PN 10th. Jackal, then DJ Phil. Although the Jackal's just had another moment. DJ Phil could be gaining and pouncing here. He's right on the back of him, and the Jackal lets him go up the inside of Oggies, so doesn't want any of that. THG now could be looking on the edge of the top 10 from Bombril. Dean Wasocki back up to 15th. He's out of Ben Crane and Monkey Boy. Hypertech, Alpha Co and Dean. Alpha Co is actually
Fury's
just off. And where is Fury off?
Fury's had a moment. I think he was trying to pass Alpha and he's gone off. So now Flem Speed 1 comes flying on through. Now, obviously, in the PS4 version, they have to do a tyre change. Here in the PS5 version, they don't. They just got to come in, serve that pit stop, and then off they go. So some people will either be repairing the damage, some might be changing their tyres, others will just want to be in, out, and gone. And Fury, I'm pretty sure, will be repairing that damage.
Well,
He'll be on his way shortly.
Tech Leader did not pit to repair his damage. Gary comes steaming in, as does PN. Oh, that looked very quick from them too. So did Daz go through? Yeah, Daz went through as well. Tech Leader stayed out, did not repair his damage. DJ Phil is going to stay out. What about THG? What racing this has been. What a night. We saw the end of Donington Park was fantastic. The fight between Gary and Fury there. This has been just as exciting early doors.
Yeah, definitely so, and it's nice to see some new boys here tonight. And I think obviously when we eventually move the entire league to PS5, we will have to obviously look at maybe possibly introducing back the set a lap and see where you kind of end up, kind of
a requalification period. Yeah,
maybe possibly. I think we've obviously the new
busy pit lane.
Yeah, very busy pit lane. With obviously the new cars, the new kind of layout, the new drivers, and obviously not just new cars, new layouts. Obviously, the whole concept of the game is a lot different to the PS4. The tyre compounds are different, the general feel of this game, and I think it's genuinely a little bit slower than the PS4
I believe
version.
It is,
but PN's just jumped Gary 131 in the pits.
Yeah, but Gary's clearly repaired his damage there, I reckon. Let's take a look at his car as it comes out and the camera pans around. Has Gary repaired his damage?
Yes.
This is going to be the biggest question. Yes, he has. So Gary now will want to get back onto that pace that he was on earlier.
Indeed, he does, as Flem Speed 1 has to now pump in the lap time. So if I go on board with Flem Speed 1, his fastest was a 48.5, and he's just gone within 0.2 of that. And the Mutts Nuts just behind him, a 49.0. So Flem Speed 1 needs to pump in those lap times. He won't obviously have to repair too much damage to his car, so he's kept his car relatively clean. So hopefully he should be able to jump Fury. What was Fury's best lap time? We do know Fury last time out, even though he did change tyres and did the whole shebang, he ended up still coming back at them. And to be fair, a 47.8 is Fury's fastest at the minute. So...
So good pace from Fury. Mod Dalt Legend is now into the pits. DJ Phil stays out. THG is going to come in. Alpha Co. CB's in. Bombrill stays out. What will Dean Wisocki do? A busy pit lane here for all of these drivers to get negotiated. Dean stays out. Ben Crane is going to decide and stay out as well. And then the next one is Fury. THG, by the way, is done. Where's Fury? He's coming down the start line now. THG, what a stop.
Fury's in. Fury's in.
Why is Fury back in?
I do not know.
Well, THG's now jumped. THG has jumped the entire pack here.
I don't get it. I don't get why Fury's in.
THG has jumped everybody.
Yeah, but we'll wait and see what they all do at the front. Obviously, Fury had damage. He possibly changed tyres as well. So Fury likes to change the tyres. But, yeah, Fury is in the pits again.
He's leaving the pits now. He's lost out to PN and to Gary 131.
I'm not sure what's happened there.
No. Well, his thing went green, so he's obviously done his stop. Low on fuel. I know Fury struggled with fueling issues in the PS4 season this year.
11 second, number 11 with a 30-second stop go. Speeding in the pit lane. Alpha Co still struggling with that pit lane as the Mutts Nuts is actually bringing the gap down to Flem Speed 1. So we could be looking at these two now as your net race leaders. I know obviously the THG has jumped the entire pack, and obviously he's kept his car clean, has kept it out of trouble. Has he got enough fuel? And this is the problem. Do people opt to change fuel, change their cars, make sure that they're running at the perfect conditions? So this is what I mean. Some of the drivers have played the first half of this race very cleanly. Like Flem Speed 1, he's got no damage to his car. He's avoided incidences, and now he can keep going while others had to repair their cars.
Yeah, indeed they have. So interesting to see here at the moment, but it's so far so good. Tech Leader and Bombrill are now in. Dean Wisocki stays out, so he moves back up to P7. Ben Crane is also going to stay out. So THG currently is the leader of all the pit stop runners. Bombrill and Tech Leader still not gone green. THG's going to leave the final corner now, so he's going to gain another 2 places. THG, well, let's hope he's got his fuel strategy right.
DJ Phil.
Fury went in for fuel.
DJ Phil just made contact with Hypertech as he was just trying to lap him. So DJ Phil, just a little bit of contact. And yes, the classic fuel issue for Fury once again has snuck up onto him.
Fury's granddad's just said in the chat. So, yeah, what a shame.
It is a shame indeed. Gary 131 meanwhile gone on
board. Monkey's off! Monkey's off for the final corner. Apologies, Dan. Fury and Mod have gone through. Monkey Boy off and into the wall at Murray's. He carries on going, but he has lost 2 places. And now Flem Speed 1 decides to dive into the pit lane.
Meanwhile, Gary 131 has now started to
onto
the back of PN.
He's hit Alpha Co, so they're breaking into Murray's, and Smokey Devil has just rear-ended Alpha Co, who comes in for his stop-go penalty, and now Smokey's got front-end damage. Dan, these back markers are playing a hindrance to drivers here today.
But it's very difficult for them to get out of the way, so the other leading cars do have to take their time to pass these cars. They can't just get out of the way as soon as the blue flags come along. They do have to figure out the best way to overtake, and it is 3 corners, I believe. They have to try and get out of the way.
And the rule was re-changed, wasn't it? It was endurance rules where the leaders got past. It's no longer anymore, but it is 3 corners. But if you're coming through Coram into Murray's, where do you expect the lapped car to go, really? Because it is a tricky part of the circuit. Like we say, you're turning right to brake and turn left. It's such a tricky part of the lap that you don't really have many places to go.
Right, Flem Speed 1 is been dropped, and he is on his way as
Dean's going to jump in.
Is only now into the final sector.
Yeah, so Flem Speed 1 has jumped stays ahead of THG, should I say. Dean has got ahead of Flem Speed 1.
THG is only now coming down the main straight, so he's still on for possibly a race win here for THG, and he's on
for a podium as well. Pit lane, dead last. You know, it's like a 30-second wait time when you're in the pit lane and you have to come out. You have to wait 30 seconds or so before you come back out. Either way, wow. What a drive from him. Tech leader's back out the pits. Where is Fury? He's 8.9 off the back of PN here. So PN's, work to do. Gary's 14 seconds off the back of THG. And THG, he's not pumped in fastest lap after fastest lap. What is his best lap time, actually? Let's see if we can go on board that and find that out. Danny's on it for us. So there then is your leaderboard. Yeah, what a session this is. THG is actually 2.6 off the back of Ben Crane, who's not
59. He did a 49.5. His last one was actually a 51.3. So he looks like he's still got damage on the side of his car as well.
And
so
he's not.
It's not running quickly.
So he's 2 seconds a lap slower than Fury. But yeah, he's got its track position that is the key, and he's got 14 seconds back to Gary, which is then 16 seconds back to PN. It's about 21 seconds back to Fury with 31 minutes left. He's got a bit of track position at the moment.
The one I want to keep an eye on now is the Mutts Nuts.
Yeah.
Mutts Nuts and Smoky Devil seem to be, I believe they're in a party with each other as well.
Yeah, they are.
Went live. I noticed they were in a party, and at the minute they're leading 1-2 without pitting yet. So
pair of Scottish drivers. Interesting to see.
Well, at the minute, the Mutts Nuts is leading without pit stops yet to go. Does he decide he's going to repair the damage? It seems okay. That's why he's probably stayed out for as long as he possibly can. We've still got 11 minutes yet of this pit window. So could be an interesting end towards this race as Fury really hampered himself with fuel and possibly tyres and damage. So he ain't going to be winning this one. And he's behind his championship rival.
Yeah, he's behind his championship rival, PM Motorsports. So Ben Crane in the pits. Here comes Gary to get ahead of Ben Crane. PN's a little further back, and then it's Fury. Then it's a big gap back to Mod. So what will Ben Crane do here? He's the only one left to pit. There's 10 minutes left of the pit window. Ben Crane's still in his box. Fury comes through. Mod Dot Legend, will he get past at the moment as he's just gone a little deep at the final corner? He's got 3.2 seconds to Monkey, but Monkey's carrying damage. And down the start line he comes. Ben Crane's still not dropped. And we've just lost him.
Lost the driver.
Yeah, we've just lost Ben Crane.
Yeah. Lovely.
Yeah.
The Mutts Nuts is in.
Right, so the Mutts Nuts comes into the pits. Where then is Flem Speed 1? He's at Oggies.
He's in the middle part of the circuit. Now the question is, the Mutts Nuts was carrying damage. Is he going to repair it, or is he just going to go stop and go? That is the question. I'll keep an eye on him at the minute, but everyone else will funnel their way through. I think it's only him who's opting to pit on this lap. Yeah,
DJ Phil's actually nowhere near the pit lane. Neither's Dean Wasocki. They're only at Brundle and Nelson. Flem Speed 1, though, is now at Brundle and Nelson. Exits Nelson now. and he's now straight into the bomb hole. The car 70 in front, that is the Jackal he's about to lap in front. And when you think the Jackal was P4 earlier, he's now nearly a lap down, but obviously got caught up in a few incidents. So here comes...
The Mustang has gone green.
Flem Speed, right. Flem Speed comes through Coram. He's on the brakes. He's through Murray's now. The Mutsnut is off the limiter. Dan, tell us when. As here comes Flem Speed 1. Now. He's off the limiter now. The Mutsnuts leads this race. And THC's only 8 seconds behind. That's
Flem Speed 1. He's going into turn 1 and he's right on the rear wing of his fellow Porsche driver. And he's got tyre temperature. He's got tyre pressures.
Yeah.
As the Mutsnuts doesn't. He's obviously repaired his damage.
And the Mutsnuts is right on the back of the traffic of the Jekyll and Dean Wysocki.
No, he hasn't repaired his damage. He hasn't, sorry. He's still got damage to the side pod of his car. The left side is where he's got damage. So he's got traffic with barely any pressures or temperatures right now, while Flem Speed 1 with a relatively fresh car is right behind him.
Fury's cleared PN.
Ahead of PN.
Yeah, I was just about to say Fury's cleared PN. He's gone so deep then at Wilton, and PN didn't look like he fought that one overly hard to go back up the inside. There's a championship on the line here, PN. You know, give it your all. Give it your all. We know that there's a difference in pace, but give it to him. You're second in the championship because you've been consistent all season. Flem Speed 1 then, 2 seconds behind the Mutsnuts. Mutsnuts 2 seconds behind Dean Wysocki, but doesn't need to worry too much about Dean Wysocki because Dean has got to pit, and that is one thing we know.
He has indeed, as they're on to at the back of the Jackal, and the Jackal doesn't really want to go a lap down just in case anything does happen ahead of him. But he is right on the rear wing of Dean Wysocki and trying to find any opportunity to get his way past, but he can't just dive bomb him. He has to do it cleanly and fair. He can't find a way through at the minute.
Apologies. Hypertech is flashing DJ Phil like mad as he's trying to unlap himself from DJ Phil. DJ Phil's still yet to pit. If Dean looks in his rear view mirror, Dean should be boxing. Dean cleverly boxes. I think that's wise from Dean Wysocki. He's got the quicker cars behind him. He gets it in the pits early. Mutsnuts and Flem Speed 1 can now fight for as long as they want to, and we've got gloves off between Gary and Fury again. 3.3 is the gap. It is gloves off between these two once again for what could not even be a podium here, because Mutsnuts, Flem Speed 1 and THG are the top three, a net first, second, third.
It's going to be a very, very different top three at the minute. No Simplay veterans at the top there at the minute.
The thing is, as well, is where's Smokey Devil going to feed into this? Because he was not far behind the Mutsnuts before pit stop. So where does he filter into this?
He should split as the Jackal finally gets out of the Mutsnuts' way. He should split, I believe, Flem Speed 1 and THG. As THG is going through Palmer's, I think he will split those two. He should feed in that gap because at the minute Flem Speed 1 is within reach of the Mutsnuts and Smokey Devil wasn't quite within that reach. Yeah. And Dean has been released and he'll be in 14th place position as it stands. Bombrill
way off the back as Dean Wysocki will be off his limiter now, so he is now away.
Cranky Duckhead's been off.
Cranky Duckhead's been off. Tech leader's on the back of Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy's got a bit of damage to his Porsche after a moment at the final corner. The leaders, the top four, still are yet to pit. Dean is now they've got 6 minutes left in the pit window to do so. Fury's within a second and a half of Gary already, so we'll watch that in a moment. But Tech leader, speaking of two veterans of Simplay Motorsport, Monkey Boy a veteran, Tech leader still relatively new, but not as new as some of these drivers, looking to fight with Monkey Boy, and this could be a good fight. Mercedes versus Porsche. Remember them days of Project Cars 2, Mercedes, Porsche and Lamborghini being the dominant car? Now we're looking at a BMW and a Honda and a McLaren leading the race.
And on PS4, an Audi and a Bentley.
Yeah, an Audi and a Bentley.
Everything.
Yeah.
DJ Phil finally pissed, and I believe Hypertech was going to be so happy about it.
On the PS5 version, we could be back to Porsche and Lamborghini and Mercedes being a top dominant car like it Project Cars 2 days.
I still think the BMW and the McLaren still will be one of the top favourites again.
It's going to be interesting to see if somebody picks the Audi Evo 2 as well, I reckon. As much nuts.
I think that Ripper needs to dig his hand in his pocket and go and buy a PS5 and let's see how good he is with the Audi Evo 2.
Yeah. Mutsnuts down the Bentley straight just because of Monkey Boy's damage. Job done. P12 for him in this one. Dean will be the next one to hunt down after Monkey Boy. DJ Phil tumbling down the order.
On the rear wing of Gary.
PN moves up to 9th place and it's round 2. Fury on Gary. Fury's going to dive bomb at Wilson. Oh, and he taps the front end of Gary. Dale $8 short on the brakes. Possibly gave them both a slight bit of damage here. And Fury, like at Donington last week where he just couldn't get the car stopped into turn 1. It's similar at Wilson here, Dan. He just cannot get it stopped into the hairpin.
Yeah, I would have thought he probably learned his lesson. I believe he closed the brake ducts a little bit too much last time, and Fury is going to the inside. But once again, Gary can just hold it around the outside.
He's understeered wide though, Dan.
It's a little bit loose on exit, and the traction zone for the Porsche is very, very good. He goes a little bit wide, but he manages to keep it together and stay facing the right way. Daz Automatic's now pitted.
Daz Automatic in, so the top two left to pit, and it's Fury versus Gary. Speaker two veterans. It's two of the top three most experienced here at Simplay Motorsport. Gary and Fury, who have battled many seasons, Project Cars 2, ACC, no matter what the Formula 1, no matter what the format's been. These two have been at the front battling for a lot of races, and it's Fury who's now looking to the inside of Gary as they come down towards Brundle and Nelson. And Fury has got on the inside and gets Gary done. But Dan, what are you saying?
Daz Automatic is off the limit.
No, he's got a stop-go penalty! Oh no, Daz Automatic! He would have led this race, and he sped in the pits. He's come out, he would be... Oh, jeez, how tight is that on the exit through Richie's? Oh, Dan, your heart bleeds for him.
Oh, he just had one job to do. He knew his strategy, just had to get it stopped. And he didn't get it stopped, and now he has to serve the pit stop. All that hard work of not repairing the damage, not taking tyres, not taking fuel, has just wasted. He might as well just have added an extra 45 seconds on top of his pit stop.
Oh, for Daz Automatic, where is that going to put him? Fury got the move done at Brundle and Nelson on Gary and has started to put some daylight between himself and Gary. Finds the apex this time around at Wilson, so his dive bomb on Gary last time out didn't work, and he finds it now. So, where was Daz when he pitted? Was Daz third?
He was third behind the Cranky Duckhead and Smoky Devil. So if these two pit and decide they're not going to repair the damage to their cars...
they will lead this race. They will be 1-2 in this race, surely. Yeah.
I don't like this new format. I'm so confused and lost.
It's provided some entertaining races today. Cranky Duckhead. Boxers now. Get this right. Do not do a Daz. And he's into the pit lane. Smoky Devil stays out. Daz then.
DJ Phil and Mod Dark Legend were just going side by side into the hairpin. DJ Phil went so wide, the BMW down the inside, and they nearly came together.
Daz fighting hard to stick with the Mutts Nuts, keeping ahead of Flem Speed 1 as well. They're all together. It's a second separating third, fourth and fifth, with THG 14 seconds behind now. You got a feeling that this is a Mutts Nuts Flem Speed 1 fight for the lead of this race. Cranky Duckhead's not yet gone, so he's not had the quickest or best stops here, Dan, as he's now not away. Does Daz coming for his stop-go penalty, serves it straight away, gets it slowed down what looked to be a little quicker this time. We've got a battle on for the lead. Cranky Duckhead's away, but Cranky Duckhead will be ahead of THG, so THG will not be on the podium then. Cranky Duckhead will for the time being. So this, for Smoky Devil, if he has a stop like Daz, should be the lead of this race.
He should be. Can he hold that damage? That's the question as well. Can he hold that time? As he has to really pit this lap. He won't get round in time for another pit stop. So he has to pit here, and he's coming up to traffic of DJ Phil and the Mod Dark Legend. So he needs to really pit now.
He does now as Tech Leader exits the final corner. Daz still not yet away. Monkey Boy's a bit of time behind Tech Leader. I'm just watching Daz. Daz now rolls away now. There goes Tech Leader, so Daz should be out ahead of Monkey Boy. Mod Dark Legend still trying to fight with DJ Phil. Where is Smoky Devil? He is now coming into the pit lane. Get that slowed down. Not sure if that looked a little quick or not. Not quite sure where it is. There's Mutts Nuts has gapped Flem Speed 1 once again. Where's Fury to THG? That is 3.2 seconds. So Fury's got some work to do. He's dropped Gary. Absolutely dropped Gary.
Yeah, and I think Gary just not quite gelled with the new Porsche quite yet. And just, you know, it could have been the 1 week I could have turned up and raced in PS5 and beat Gary at Snap, but hey.
Yeah, exactly. He's not looked his dominant self here. Smoky Devil leaves the pit lane, Dan. Mutts Nuts is only just coming through the bomb hole. He's not even at quorum. Smoky Devil is in the lead of this race by a country mile.
Can he hang in there, though? That is the question.
He's already going through turn 1.
Yeah, can he? The thing is, though, he's not changed tyres. He's not added fuel.
No.
He's not repaired the damage. So, Mutts Nuts. I see the lap times they're doing. Hang on. So, Flem Speed 1, a 49.3, 49.2 from the Mutts Nuts. Where is Smoky Devil? He's been doing a 49.0 is his best. So, we'll keep an eye on his lap times, but he's got 20 minutes, and the gap is, 17.1.
Oh, here we go. No, Daz closes the door. I thought DJ Phil was going to lunge into Brundle and Nelson there on Daz automatic, and then I thought the mod was going to lunge on DJ Phil. It's all kicking off down the Bentley straight into the bomb hole now. DJ Phil right up the gearbox of this McLaren. He's even giving Daz a little cheeky flash there, is DJ Phil. He fancies himself in this one, understeers a little wide, brings it back onto the track. What a scrap, and this is all behind Monkey Boy as well.
Yeah, Monkey Boy's going to be a little bit worried with these three going at it behind him, but... yeah, fantastic racing here in the PS5. Nice to see a full grid as well, other than Ben leaving. Yeah. But hopefully we can continue this fantastic grid when we move into the PS5 League next season. Yeah, it should be an absolute cracker. 79% of the fans said that Gary will win at Snetterton. Also, I didn't put the Mutsnuts and Smoky Devil or Cranky Duckhead or THG on that poll. I put the Jackal, Flemspeed, Fury and Gary. Well, couldn't have got them any more on. Bar Flemspeed. Well, he's currently sat P3. Well, sadly, we only get given 4 options to give the fans a chance to pick. So if we get the entire grid, then we might be seeing a different one, as Monkey Boy is struggling. THG. So Fury's now back up to P5. Gary's 4 seconds behind. Track limits. Car 9, THG. Oh, no. Oh, he's had such a good race from the pit lane start. He's got a drive-through penalty. Oh, Monkey Boy's gone very... Sorry, Monkey Boy's gone incredibly wide. Saz is Daz automatic, and DJ Phil has just mugged the pair of them. That's brilliant. Daz going up the inside. Mod's going to look up the inside of Monkey Boy. Mod may even fancy a run on Daz down the Bentley straight. Monkey Boy in the Bentley, down the Bentley... Oh, sorry, in the Bentley on the PS4 version, down the Bentley straight. Mod Dot Legend's going to look up the inside of Daz into Brundle and Nelson. What racing this has been today. This has been some fantastic racing. Snetterton, tricky place sometimes to get right, but this has been brilliant. THG is in, PN goes through, THG does his drive-through penalty, comes out behind PN. Alpha Co parked up at the side of the road. I think he's letting the drivers through. He's just come out the pits, so I think he's letting leaders go. Although there's space now, still not moving, so I'm not sure what that is. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. 15 seconds, Smoky Devil to the Mutsnuts. What a gap that is. I'm just going to go on board with Alpha Co and see if there's any actual damage. He's returned to the pits. Ah, so I wonder if he's pedal problems, wheel issues or something. Possibly. Whoa! I'm not sure, but... I think DJ Phil and Modco have just made contact through Richie's, because they're both off. Phil is still so wide at the hairpin. I'm just looking back on stream now as they come through turn 1. Oh no, Mod's hit a bump on the inside curb at Richie's. Mod has hit a bump. So Smoky Devil, is there a bump there? I'm not sure. Dan, pick a car that's heading to turn 1 and go on the bonnet view of it or something, because I don't know. Oh. He's hit a bump. Yeah, that's interesting. I'll go on board with Fury and have a look. Well, he's behind the Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy's back up to P9. Daz is 10th. DJ Phil's now down to 12th. Dean's lost out to Bombrill somewhere because he's now down to 14th. But they're all past Hypertech. Alpha Co still in the pits. So it's Mod really the closest spot fight. No, he's now in the wall again. So struggling in his BMW M4. I don't really see a bump. I just see obviously the curb kind of off cambers a little bit. Instead of doing the opposite where it's risen, it's a bit more dipped. So... yeah, I don't really see how that's gone horribly wrong there. DJ Phil was off as well, so I don't know. Oh, Dean, yellow flag. He is off. That is at Oggies and Williams. He looks like he's got some front-end damage. Hypertech's 27 seconds behind. Can Dean hang on for the final 15 minutes here? Not a night for the Deans. Dean Wasocki 14th. Dean down in 17th. Not their best night. And who's that off in front of DJ Phil? Mod Dog Legend struggling here, and DJ Phil's going to come down the start straight. He loves a flash, does DJ Phil, doesn't he? Loves a flash. Remind you of anyone? You. I don't know what you mean, Daniel. Your nickname for ages was The Flasher. I remember I was watching actually TikToks back the other day, and I saw the one where I won Prime in the Acora, and I exit the final corner at Nürburgring, and you say, is he going to give us a flash? And then as I start flashing, I think your dad says, of course he is. Well, you know, a silly question. Yeah, but Fury's had a moment. Oh, big one. Fury's had a moment. Yeah, he's just bouncing all over the curbs. He was catching Cranky Duckhead. Oh, we've lost. He's the only one.
We've lost THG, Dan. Sorry, we're down to 18 drivers.
Oh. Well, they're all going to get a penalty for the ones who have quit. They won't be able to qualify Silverstone. This is the rules. And you've got to finish the race. You've got to get to the end because every point counts. I know obviously these boys have only just joined into the session, but if you can't, it's not a good start for your debut here at Simpo Motorsport.
No.
And obviously you need to finish these races.
Mutsnuts very wide on the exit of Wilson. Flemspeed 6/10 off the back of him. Does exactly the same thing. So as we start to go,
driver, always a Porsche
driver. Exactly. As we start to dip into the darkness, drivers just started to make little mistakes, and little mistakes creeping in. Les Fernie in the chat, superb Smokey, he says. What a strategy! What a strategy!
Yeah, and he seems to be holding it for now. He doesn't seem to have any issues. Smokey's just, like I said, he's just hit a curve as I said that, but he's got it under control at the minute. Do you know what, Matthew? What we're at this point where it's a little bit, lull.
Yeah.
Only for a short amount of time, because I'm pretty sure something's going to happen. What do we reckon is the best looking livery on the grid?
Other than Dean's McDonald's one, obviously.
Obviously.
Well, the Jackal doesn't get my vote.
I was about to say, I thought you were going to say the Jackal was your favourite. It's got
No.
Red Bull down the side of it.
No, obviously not.
Isn't it true that you're a massive Max Verstappen fan?
No, although somebody got me a Max Verstappen Christmas card, to which I am very disgruntled when I opened that and do not like it, but it is on my shelf. I'm going to go Furies.
I hope you enjoy it to the max.
Thanks, Dan. I'm going to say Fury's livery is the best, just because it's the same colour scheme as what we ran in our endurance race for Simplay Racing. If I'm not, yeah. So Fury's my favourite. I do like Smokies. I think it's nice. Mutsnuss is a nice colour. I don't like the design. Cranky Duckhead's nice colour. I don't like the design. Gary's nice colours. I don't like the design.
I like Alphas. I'd quite like Alphas, to be fair. The Aston Martin, the red, black and white.
Yeah.
It's quite nice.
Yeah, I do agree with that.
But
I'm going to have to go Smoky. If I take Fury out of it, I'm going to have to go Smoky.
You just love a BMW, that's it.
No, I just think, look, it's the blue and purple with that little bit of green. I think really goes well.
I think it's Tech Leader. I think Tech Leader's got the nicest livery.
It's the turquoise colour, isn't it, with the grey?
Yeah.
It's chrome and matte. It's beautiful. Other than Dean's McDonald's one, because we're all loving it.
Brava says Flemspeed is the best. Yeah, I do like just the metallic purple and chrome.
Yeah, fair play.
I don't like the orange. I don't like the orange lights. Maybe like I don't know. Maybe another.
Do you know what? As well as it, Mod Dog Legends, like purple, lighter purple and pink. I quite like
that. Nah. The ugliest is got to be Monkey Boys by a mile.
Monkey Boys is awful. Red, blue, and green. Who put them together? Who put them together?
Well, clearly Monkey Boy did.
The ugliest. The ugliest is actually the Jekylls. It says Red Bull and Max Verstappen on it. So enough said.
Speaking of Monkey Boy, he's under some immense pressure right now.
From Mod Dog Legend, coincidentally. Cranky Duckhead's been overtaken by Fury. Monkey Boy's gone deep at Wilson hairpin. Oh, and they make a bit of contact, both stay on track. Well done, chaps. Fury's up to P4, 12 seconds off the back of Flemspeed 1, who has dropped right off the back of the nuts now. 12 seconds, 11 minutes.
Smokey's losing time.
Yeah.
It was 14 seconds, the gap, and Dean Wasoki's caught onto the back of Smokey.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting
8.9.
Smokey's... Flemspeed's in the pits! Fury's going to be on the podium! Oh my days, you can't make this up! Fury's going to be on the podium. I didn't think a podium was possible for him today.
Did Flemspeed under fuel?
Cranky Duckhead goes through. Gary is going to come through. PN's a little further back.
Flemspeed, man.
PN's exiting the final corner. Do you know what I'm going to put Crank? No, do you know what I'm going to put Flemspeed on for the driver of the day? Because I think he's had a good race.
Yeah, he's had a good race, but he's just made a massive mistake.
Yeah, but he's on the pole. He's on the pole. Debut and all, he's on the pole.
That's who I think it is. That's what I'm going to add.
Yeah.
That's my driver of the day. I'm not going to say, because obviously we'll save it to a little bit later.
So PN went through, Tech Leader went through, Daz will not get past Flemspeed, so Flemspeed drops to 8th place from P3. But 8.5 the gap, down the Bentley straight, we'll see what it is.
Smokey's last lap was horrendous.
Yeah.
It was a 53.1, and he's been doing 49, so whatever he's done there
Gap has stabilised a little bit, though.
He has indeed, but he has another moment like that. Maybe the tyres are just starting to scream, you know. They seem to last possibly around an hour.
Yeah, tyres do last an hour, and obviously we're into that 50 minutes.
He's losing it all in the final sector.
Well, let's see. The gap's 8.5 as they went through the middle sector. What will it be now?
Where is the Mutts Nuts? There he is. His last lap was a 48.8, which was his fastest. And now he's gone half a second slower than that. So he does a 49.4. So Smokey's in the 50s, while the Mutts Nuts is in the 48/49s. So Smokey may be under some pressure right towards the end here.
Yeah, Smokey possibly coming under some pressure towards the end. Another driver that is coming under pressure was out of the jackal. Actually, he's actually gained time, so no pressure from him anymore. So we'll keep our eyes on Fury, but the Mutts Nuts doing well.
Fury's gone very wide at the hairpin. I think he's struggling now towards the end of this race. I don't think he'll catch the Mutts Nuts. No chance. He's just try and wrap up the championship here and in this position. What does he need to do to wrap the championship?
I'll have a look in a second.
But it's not an official championship, let's be honest.
It's another side championship for Joe, isn't it, that he wins? He does seem to be a master of these side championships. So at the moment, if Fury... so there's 57 points up for grabs. Fury is 38 ahead of PN. So if the results stay as they are tonight, where is PN Motorsport? He's currently sixth. Fury is third, but will take fastest lap, meaning that the gap will be 46 points with 57 to play for. So PN still within that shout of the championship.
Just hanging in there.
Yeah, just kind of really on the cusp. But Tech Lead is gaining on him. That gap's 1.6. So what would it be actually if PN finishes 7th, Fury 3rd with fastest lap? Would mean then that the gap would be 48 points. So yeah, PN at the moment needs to finish, I'd say, around 10th, 11th place for Fury to
wait a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the Mutts Nuts has got it down to 6.6 now. He's coming.
He is coming. And where is the Mutts Nuts? Again, Dan, all final sector. So it is all final sector. He's gaining on him. Tech Lead is now within a second of PN. So again, PN will still be in the championship hunt at the moment. But let's see what will happen here. So down the corner they come. Here comes the Mutts Nuts, gaining towards Cora. Nice to see the Mutts Nuts, Alpha Cow and Cranky Duckhead, by the way, didn't just copy everybody else, go with the newer cars. They've gone with the Honda, the Aston, and the Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, so obviously it's probably what they feel most comfortable in as well. It does, like, you know, Matt, if people are still relatively new to this game, we know that the Aston Martin is a very, very good car to start off in, learn the game and learn how to get quick in it quickly. And it's nice to see the Lamborghini driven by DJ Phil and the Mercedes by Tech Leader. And I think you'll see a lot of this next season. A lot of drivers will actually pick cars that you probably won't expect. A lot of them might be waiting to see what other people pick, but you will expect to see the BMWs, the Porsches, the Ferraris, and also I believe the Lamborghinis as well will be thereabouts. Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on what gets picked in the season next year. But
obviously as well,
I think it's going to be very German and Italian orientated, as Fury's getting a bit put off by a very laggy Jackal.
I think the other thing to note as well is, maybe not for next season, but the season after, Ford have just released the Ford Mustang GT3. Now, we know there's an update coming in the summer months where the Nordschleife will be on it. If that Ford Mustang all of a sudden appears as a car with the Nordschleife, that'd be an interesting car to look at for people to use. We know that Mike's a big Ford fan, so we know that he'd be up for using something like that.
And usually how these games work is they'll make that new DLC, that new downloadable content, the OP car or the OP weapon or the OP thing. So a lot of people will possibly look to the Mustang and think this may be a good car. We just don't know how it's going to perform in the real world. If it performs well in the real world, then obviously it will translate from ACC as well. But I believe also there might be the possibility to add ballast to cars, I believe.
Yeah, I do believe so.
So we could hamper drivers like the Ripper, which would be nice.
Yeah.
or whoever is leading the championship, we could stick ballast on the car to slow him down for the next round.
And with us being a massive sort of touring car community and a massive touring car group, if we brought in the touring car sort of format of ballast, makes the championship a whole lot more interesting as well. Much down to 5.5 seconds. Gary on the back of the cranky duckhead. Yeah, it makes the championship a whole lot more interesting, Dan, by giving them the leaders, you know, I don't know the way it works, but let's say equivalent to 75 kilograms of ballast for that championship leader going into the second week or whatever the format will be. It will really, really hurt him.
Yeah, it would indeed. And I think something like that would be interesting to see. I know for a fact that I'm racing on a different league at the minute in the touring cars, and it's really the reverse grids on that is really affecting really well on that format. It is completely random though. No one actually knows where they're going to start. A bit like how Project Cars, we used to do on Project Cars.
Yes.
It's completely weird and random, as Gary's gone right around the outside of the cranky duckhead and has got that job done as they head up towards the bomb hole. But
I wonder who's washing his car. That is very dirty.
It's that horrible pink and green livery. Equally as bad as Monkey Boys.
Nah, don't mind the pink and green. Surprised he didn't run the Jaeger colours. You let me down there, Gary. Let me down.
You know, he's part-time. He's on holiday at the minute.
Yeah,
he's not being paid.
Yeah.
He don't get paid anyway at Jaeger anyway. The only way he gets paid is by having Jaeger forced down his throat. But other than that...
Mutt's Nuts, 3 minutes 27 left. 4.4 is the gap. What's the gap going to be as they come towards sector 1? 4.1, so he gains another 0.2. Fury not really in this fight at all. Gary's now is up to P4. Where's Flem Speed? Tech Leader's got past PN. Flem Speed's 9 seconds off the back of PN and being held by what looks to be Hypertech. No, that's Dean who's holding him, and Dean moves out the way through Murray's. Dean Wasaki.
We'll just call Dean Wasaki and just call Dean. Dean
and Wasaki. Wasaki's wide, was a little bit on the gravel there, but 4.1 through sector 1. What's the gap going to be through sector 2? 4.1. But it's all this last sector that you say. Yeah, so this is where Smokey's going to struggle now.
And he knows that the Nuts is coming. So unless, obviously, like I said, they're in a party together. Unless they both decided,
photo finish or something. Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. I don't know how pally they are. You know, they might be going for it right to the very end. But Smokey's put on a heck of a strategy here. He's run wide. Doesn't want to do that too many times. He might get a penalty for track limits at this rate.
But, imagine.
We saw it. Where was it? Very end.
GT4's Hungara ring. Fury and yourself. Fury got to drive through right at the very end.
Yes.
So, yeah, he would not want to drive through here, although he gains a 10th over the Nuts through the final sector that time. Gary's got past and cleared the cranky duckhead. That's 1.3. So the running order then coming into the, penultimate lap of the race. I believe Smokey will get one more lap, and it's Smokey from the Nuts. Go on.
I know it's not going to happen now because there's one lap to go.
Yeah.
Fury has just gained 3 seconds on the Nuts.
Yeah.
3 seconds.
I think it's going to take the Nuts and Smokey to have a moment.
In one lap?
Yeah, no. Because he still needs 9 seconds. So even if there is 2 laps left, that's only 6 seconds he's going to gain. Although the Nuts is actually 3.6 behind Smokey. Oh no, it's down to 3.6. So now Smokey's just lost 6 tenths in sector 1.
And he's run a little bit wide going through Hamilton's as well. So Smokey's feeling the pressure, but he's got to have enough now. He's got to have enough.
You'd imagine, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, if it means maybe slowing down so he just finishes this lap.
No, I don't think slowing down's going to help him. I think he's going to
be very tight.
I think he's going to cross the line with plenty of time left to go. So I'm just looking at Fury's stream. Fury's 1 minute on his lap time. Yeah, he's going to cross the line with at least... Smokey's going to cross the line with at least 10 seconds left to go. So... Yeah, Fury's coming up to Brundle and Nelson with a lap time of 1 minute 14. And there's 40 seconds left. And his best lap times are 1:42. So 28 seconds to the line is Fury. So yeah, I reckon there's going to be a good 10 seconds, 15 seconds left for Smokey Devil. Gap's down to 3.1.
Car's gone off in front of him though. Who's gone off in front?
It's not the Jekyll. I think it's Bombrill, who moves right out the way. There we go.
To one side.
20 seconds left. Smokey's 2.5 seconds to the Mutt's Nuts. Mutt's Nuts has nearly just took 2 seconds out of Smokey Devil. Hello. It's not quite the Donington Park thriller of Gary and Fury, but the Scottish Showdown.
Mott's has gone wide. Fury once again has taken another two. He's taken a second and a half that time out of the Mott's nuts. So what would have happened if Fury didn't have to add the fuel?
I think Fury would have won this race, or we'd be in for a cracking last lap at least. 2.7.
Really holding. He's holding the Mott's nuts now. That's it. I think Smokey, as long as he just survives the final sector.
He's let him go. So out of Agostini towards Palmer's now. Smokey's just got to nail this sector. It's been a while since we've spoke to Smokey Devil on the podium. Not since Pro-Am last season. In fact, no, we've had him on GT4s. I think we've had him on GT4s a couple of times. But Smokey Devil looking to get on for a race win. It will be BMW if they win this race. That will be their 31st race win for Smokey Devil. It will be only race win number 7 in all his races. He's now going to be tied with Ben Parky and Monkey Boy. Comes out into the final couple of corners, and for Smokey Devil here, the gap's 2.3. You do not want an off at this stage of the lap, I tell you now. Just looks like he's easing it through the bomb hole, easing it through Coram. Little bit on the brakes here through Coram for Smokey Devil. Fury's took another 1.3 out of the Mutt's nuts, by the way. Rounds the final corner. Smokey Devil's going to be a race winner once again at Simplay Motorsport. He will be P1 here in the PS5 League. Great win for Smokey Devil. The Mutt's nuts will come home for P2. Fury is going to be the man to come home for P3. Great result for him. He will also take the fastest lap of the race. Gary 131, he's a little bit further behind, but a good race. P4 in the thick of the action earlier on. Bombrill takes 13th place. He's already a lap down. As here comes then Gary 131 to finish in that P4 spot. Good result for Gary 131. In this one, Cranky Duckhead then will come home for P5. Tech leader a little further back, so that gives us a chance to type in the Jackal, who was P15. Dean Wasocki was P14. Tech leader is going to cross the line. That is going to be P6 for him. PN's a little further back. That is going to be P7 for PN. I'll tell you what, though. Flemspeed's right on the back of him. Wow, I didn't see that one coming. Flemspeed, P8. Nearly had him in the end. We await for Daz. So that means we can input Hypertech's result. Hypertech come across the line in 16th place. I do believe, as we did just lose the Jekyll. So yes, Hypertech did cross the line. 16th place. Daz Automatic will come home for P9. Stops at the line. Rolls across now. Thank you, Daz Automatic. Mod Dark Legend. Good debut for him. P10. He's had a bit of a battle. He's been in the thick of the action as well, hasn't he? Hey, that's fantastic. Monkey Boy is going to be P11 with damage to his car. He's hung on at the very end. DJ Phil crosses the line in P12. And then we just await Alpha Co, CB, and then we get the rest of the results for you guys. Obviously, with a few drivers leaving, that's kind of messed up the order. So we don't know where certain drivers are. But that then is your final race result. We're just going to get a timetable up so I can take a nice little screenshot of it. Hypertech was 16th. Dean finished in P17. And then I believe that's it. Wolfenator not here and Bernie Ernie not here either. Yep, that is it. So that then is the race results done. Let's take a look at the championship standings. So it is actually between, I do believe, 3 drivers. I believe the Cranky Duckhead. Yes, Cranky Duckhead is mathematically still in this championship fight. I didn't see his things. I didn't input his score. The Cranky Duckhead is 56 points behind Fury with 57 left to play for. PM Motorsport still in the championship hunt. He's 48 points off the back of Fury with 57 to play for. But it's Fury who still leads the way. Birthday boy, but not a winner today. Still leads the championship on his hunt for his 4th title with PN Cranky Duckhead. DJ fell down to 4th. Smokey Devil moves his way up into P5. Smokey Devil, by the way, Dan, as well. Let's not mention this. Qualifying ban he had tonight, so he had to come from by the back of the pack. Wins the race. Great result for him. The Mutt's Nuts P16 is in 7th with Hypertech. 8th, Monkey Boy moves up to 9th. Alfco CB down to 10th. Daz stays 11th. Gary moves up to 12th. Tech Leader 13th. Dean Wasocki up to 14th. Sven 15th. Porto 16th. Wolfenator 17th. Flem Speed 1 in P18. Mod Dog Legend 19th. Bombrill 20th. E. McKizzle is P21, Bombrill P20, the Jackal P22, And we are joined by Fury and Smoky Devil in the comms box. We will start, though, first with Fury. Joe, not the race win tonight, but a heck of a race.
Yeah, the car had the pace, like it really did. I can't fault it. The car was amazing around there. The only thing that put the halt on everything was obviously the damage Gary gave me, and because of, let's just say, obviously, as you said the other night, a furious Fury.
Yeah.
That kind of got to me a little bit, and I forgot to add the fuel. So, but other than that, yeah, nah. That was a fun race. Very fun race.
Fun race indeed. Flem Speed 1 kept you honest as well for a little bit of that race. He was somebody who was determined to join the battle of you and Gary.
Oh yeah. I can already tell he's gonna be a quick driver.
Is he one that coming into the PS5 league in the new year? Is he one that is already, you're saying, going to be up there then?
Oh yeah, 100%. You can tell by the way he drives, the way he holds his lines and everything. Yeah, he's gonna be fast. He's gonna be fast.
You had a good race though. You managed to come back. Obviously, the second pit stop wasn't according to plan, but you managed to clear the traffic. You had another little scrap with Gary for a little bit, and again come through the pack and just did what you do best.
Yeah, I mean the car, like I said, the car felt amazing. I knew I had the pace. I just wanted to see how fast I could catch on to the top runners and see if I could even have a chance of getting the P1 back. But obviously that second pit stop put a halt on all of that. Yeah. So I just had to try and do damage imitation from there.
Pretty much one hand on the title. You need to outscore PN by 9 points next week at Silverstone, so a track that's very well known here. Can you do it?
Yeah, I think I should be able to do.
Provided your PlayStation stays active.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I missed Thursday. So
yeah. Fury, 25th pole position as well for yourself. See, the third driver to reach that milestone after Andy and Dan. So 25 pole positions. To go with 50 race wins this season. But let's talk about the big one tomorrow night. The huge one. You can win the championship in GT4. You've just got to outscore my co-commentator. What's the game plan going into tomorrow night? Is it all hats off?
I know what Dan's going to be like. I know he's going to try and get every inch out of that Camaro like he has done all season. But tomorrow night is going to be... I think there's going to be fists thrown between me and Dan.
No.
I know... I know what he's like. I know he's a good driver. He can defend well. If he gets in front, that's it. It's like he's either got to have the tiniest mistake that you can capitalize on, or you might as well just stay behind him.
Well, here's a little tip for you tomorrow night, Joe. Happy birthday, by the way. We'll say on stream. We've said before, but happy birthday to yourself. Here's a tip for tomorrow night: fill the car with fuel. Yeah?
I thought he was going to come out with someone else then.
No, because you had to pit the other week in GT4s for fuel, if I remember rightly. Yeah. So, you've got to fill it with fuel. Joe, third place tonight, one hand on the championship. Best of luck tomorrow night. We'll see you live on stream there.
Cheers, mate. And
well done.
Smokey and the Mutts Nuts as well.
And we can now speak with Smoky Devil. Smoky, 7 times a race winner now. What a strategy.
You get paid off, aye.
Back of the grid, reverse grid, back of the grid due to a qualifying ban, and yeah.
I took a chance. I didn't change my tyres in the pit stop, so the last 20 minutes, I was losing like a second a lap to everybody, so I knew it was going to be tight at the end. But it was worth a shot, and it paid off.
It did pay off.
It was the only way I was going to get a result with starting at the back of the grid. So tyre pressures at the end were sitting at 25. So.
Was that the problem? The tyres just gone?
Aye.
Yeah.
The tyres had just went. Do you know what I mean? They were fine. But it's usual with the BMW, even the M6, the tyres come and go. They went off, then they came back, and that's how I stayed out even longer. I waited right to the end, the tyres started going back again.
Yeah, see, I've noticed that a lot with the BMW M4, that this sort of tyres go and then the tyres come back. But it was a good strategy. It was a good race from yourself. The Much Nuts was catching you at the end. Did you think at one stage, you know, I could have a race on at the very end?
Well, that's what made my mind. I was asking him what times he was doing after his pit stop, you know. So I went, stuff it. I'm losing a second a lap. It's worth a chance, and it paid off. So cheers for the info, Muts. Know what I mean?
Well, Muts, Smokey, congratulations on the race win today. Very good job. We'll look forward to seeing you on the GT4 circuit tomorrow. Dan, final thoughts from yourself and a driver of the day.
Well, we thought Snetterton was going to be a dull race, and turns out it was not a dull race at all. It was a very dramatic race, and fair play to Smokey Devil, a fantastic strategy nonetheless from himself. He pulled it off and managed to keep Fury. At least one BMW wins, but it's not the way of Fury. This time it's the way of Smokey Devil. So BMW continue its winning streak on the PS5 League. Looks like a favoured car by the looks of things.
I think, was it Porto?
BMW it was on rails, right? The BMW is Fury says. Do you know what I mean? Even if you made a mistake, you were still going in time.
Yeah.
It was just on rails, the thing, you know what I mean? It's just the tyres at the end that was a problem.
Was it Porto who won the first race, or Sven who won the first race? I think that's the only time BMW haven't. It's a bit like we're back to the Porsche Cup. BMW's won every race apart from the first one. Fury won every race apart from one. Bodes well for next week.
Definitely so, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting rest of the rest of the week, because obviously we will be heading to Misano for the final week. But for me, my driver of the day, although Smokey, yes, he did have to start from pit lane, and he did a very good job of recovering, pulling out that strategy. I have to give it to the Mutt's Nuts, considering he's in the middle of all the chaos, all the fighting and scrapping. He worked his way to the front, and he managed to stick with it, and he just got a couple more laps, he would have got Smokey to the end, I reckon.
But
he
did a really good race, I know. Do you know what I mean? He pulled away from me. I was stuck behind Gary. I couldn't get by him, and he just pulled away. I was raging.
I'm going to give mine to Smokey. I think Smokey's had a cracking night coming from the back of the pack on that reverse grid. But I want to give an honourable mention to the Much Nuts and to Flemspeed and to Jackal. I thought them three had fantastic pace. THG, before his disconnection, he showed me on Discord he got disconnected. We knew he had internet problems coming into tonight. I think them three had real good races and real good pace for their debut at Simplay Motorsport. We look forward to seeing them at Silverstone. We look forward to seeing what the new guys can do in the new year when we head to the PS5 version. What a series we have, but it is finale week. 4 championships up for decision. The only one that is done is Pro-Am, constructors and constructors and drivers. The constructors was won by Teletubby Motorsport in Pro. The manufacturers has been done by Bentley a long time ago. We've got Overtaker versus Ripper Thursday night. Join Dan Davis live for that one in the Pro. We've got 4 drivers: Danlick, Future Revenge, PM Motorsport, and Baraba up for the title on Tuesday night in Am. We are going to bring you, there is 10 drivers signed up for Am, or have accepted for Am. We are going to bring you the finale with 4 drivers live on that one. We are going to bring you the action of that. We then have tomorrow night, the big one. Dan v Fury. Gloves are off between them, says Joe in the interview room tonight. You will not want to miss any of the action. 8 p.m. GMT for that one. Live on Simplay Motorsport. Myself and PN Motorsport will be bringing you the action of Unorthodox versus Fury. But will Smokey, will Tibbs, will Doctor Who, will De Hoffner, will any other driver try and upset the apple cart and take a race win or two? You will want to see us there for that. 8 p.m. for that, 8 p.m. on Tuesday for Am, 8 p.m. on Wednesday for Pro-Am, and 8 p.m. on Thursday for Pro. Me and Dan will be back in the box for the finale of the PS5 GT3 League next. No, sorry, Dan, you're not in the box with me next week, as you said earlier. I will be in the box next week on my own for the finale of Silverstone. Fury versus PN versus Cranky. Who will take that one in the PS5 League? Can Fury, by the end of next week, this time next week, can he become a 5-time champion at Simplay? Only winning support races and Pro-Am at the moment. You know where you need to be to find out, right here at Simplay Motorsport. Hit that bell to be notified when we go live. Hit that thumbs up button if you like what you see here. Join the Discord if you want to get involved in any of the PS5 League stuff in the new year. We've got plans on support races as well as the main GT3 event in the week. And as always, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It has done wonders for us this season. You guys have been fantastic all season through and have really stuck with us while the cameras on the PS4 version have been bad. Dan, thank you once again for tonight. We look forward to yours and Fury's championship battle. Congratulations to Smokey Devil, Mutts Nuts and Fury. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And we're clear. Oh, well done, Smokey.
Cheers.
Right.
I was sweating after that one tonight.
I can imagine. I can imagine. Right.